Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be showing you the overall Events King of Class A, the Genty Akylone at Golden Max in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. I do not have this car, and you guys have been asking for this video for a long time, so Commissar John has given me some races in his maxed golden one. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I will be posting a special Q&A I have done with my girlfriend at 30,000 subscribers, and enjoy the video. So this car is a very well-balanced car overall, with pretty high stats for its class in most areas. It has one of the highest top speeds in the class, not the highest, as the 570S does have a higher maximum speed. Also, the Genty's acceleration is quite good, although again it does not have the highest in its class, with the tech rules taking the trophy there, and similarly, its handling and nitro efficiency, while not being the best in its class, are all very good. This well-roundedness allows it to do really well on pretty much any track that you might throw at it. If you get a really high top speed oriented track, it's going to do well because it does have one of the highest top speeds in its class. If you get a twisty one, it has good acceleration, good handling, and good nitro efficiency to be able to get through there. So really, this is a car that can be used anywhere. It is not the king on every single track. The tech rules, with its quite a bit better acceleration, can do better on shorter and twistier ones, but overall, this thing is just a beast in its class. I think the reason that we don't really hear much about it being so good is because, well, not many people actually have this car at all, because the first time when it came out was during the Jesco special event. It was one of the later cars that you could buy packs for, and most people, including myself, were not able to get the car there. Now, finally, it has come back in packs, so you can buy packs for it at the current time as I'm recording this video. If you're interested in that, I am probably not going to, as it would cost me like 6,000 tokens, and even then I just unlock it. And I actually, though, have spent tokens on some Huayra packs, which are also out at this time. I have 5-starred my Huayra, so that should do pretty well for me in A-Class Elite events. There's currently an Unleashed event for the Huayra going on as well, so some good events for some high-end A-Class cars going on right now that you should try to take some advantage of, because you can get quite a few blueprints for free for that Huayra if you have cars like the P1 and the Aventador at high stars. And even though this Genty is technically the Events King in Class A, the other top cars in the class, such as the Huayra, Aperta, the 570S, the Tech Rules, those are all really close to it. And so you can do really well in all of those cars as well in events if you have any of them maxed. It's just that this one should do best on the majority of tracks. But do not fear if you don't have this car. If you have the Huayra maxed, which I assume is the one that most people have out of those 5 cars maxed, you'll still be able to do really well. And on the multiplayer front, the Huayra might even be better than this Genty due to having better nitro efficiency and just feels probably more reliable overall. And then comes the Aperta in second place, and finally the Tech Rules being the multiplayer king of Class A. If you would like to see a video of that car at max, I do have one of those up on my channel if you'd like to check it out. I'm trying to get as many videos of maxed cars in this game as possible as I can in multiplayer, so you guys can really see how they do against other cars at their peak performance. I've gotten that done with the top 9 cars in S-Class, and I think after this video, I'll have it done with most of the A-Class cars as well in the upper half. And because the epic import parts don't do a crazy amount to the car's performance compared to what the normal upgrades and import parts do, I still count cars that don't have epics as maxed, even though they're technically not completely maxed, just because, well, that reason that I gave with them not doing a whole lot, but also most people aren't even going to have epics for a lot of these top cars anyway, so I consider those to still be reasonable representations of those cars at max. I've got some videos coming in the near future of new cars that have come in the Porsche update. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get the Carrera GT most likely because I don't have those cars that are required for it at gold. So it looks like I'll be stuck at 36 out of 45 blueprints for that car. Oh well, I still will have a video up about it. Any car that I do not manage to get, I will make a video about with some races that other people give me, so you can still see how those cars perform in multiplayer. And you cannot actually buy Carrera GT packs until you at at least unlock the car. Otherwise, I would have done that by now and unlocked it. And a bit of information for Asphalt 8. Recently, for some people, the icon in the store changed to be for a Formula E car. Now, we saw a Formula E car in Asphalt 9 for one of the esports tournaments. It never came to the game officially to be released, but we did have it in there. And now one of those should be coming to Asphalt 8 in the near future. Now, what we don't know is if it will be that same sort of thing or if it will come to stay. Personally, I'm expecting that it will come to stay since we already have Formula 1 cars in Asphalt 8, but we don't in Asphalt 9, so that's probably why it didn't stay in Asphalt 9, but it would make sense for it to stay in Asphalt 8. Now, you guys know that I have quit Asphalt 8, but if there's something really new and interesting, some new feature, a new track, like the one in space not too long ago, I'll go back and try it out, because I'm still interested in that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to come back to the game to stay at any time. I don't plan on trying any of the new cars in the game, so for people that have asked me to come back to Asphalt 8, I'm not going to. I'm sorry, but I've made that decision a year ago because I saw the game was just getting worse and worse, and I knew that nothing was working to make it better, so I just decided to stop. And seeing everything happen to the game since then, I'm glad that I did. So in this race here, toward the end, we get an interesting sort of airspeed kind of trick that I don't think I've ever seen anyone do before. It's pretty interesting. The first 5 races in this video, John recorded in Platinum League, and the last 2 he recorded in Legend League, so this is the last of the Platinum League ones, and in the next couple races we'll get to see how this car does against some more S-Class cars. But you can probably see throughout the video that it does pretty good no matter what it's put up against. It feels like one of those cars that you can just use anywhere without too much of a problem, and that is really nice because there aren't a whole lot of cars like that in the game, because most of the cars in the game are either like super fast, but then they have some terrible acceleration or handling or something, or if they're really agile, then they have a not very good top speed, like the Corvette, for example. And then a lot of well-rounded cars are kind of mediocre, but no, this one's pretty good. Now, here's the speed trick that I never saw before, going off into the lake, then jumping above that rock there. It definitely looks like it gives a bit higher airspeed, but it's probably not something that I would do in multiplayer. You guys know me, I don't take risks in multiplayer unless it would mean the difference between losing the race and winning it. Now for a race on Ancient Wonders, I believe it is, against a couple of Iconas, a couple of Huracan Evo Spiders, and a Rimac C2, which is one of the cars that I do plan to make another video about at Max with me driving it in the Legendary Master Series 2, or whatever it was called, that finished a couple of days ago. I also plan to do the Chiron and the Jesko. The Jesko will honestly probably be the next one, because I know since it's the king of the game, it's probably the one that people want to see the most, but I'll still do the couple of other cars as well. The Genty is able to take the turns of Ancient Wonders with the greatest of ease, and kind of makes me wish I had enough tokens to be able to max it out myself. Oh well. And this leads me to my general review of this car, and I suppose one big question for you guys now would be, is it worth it to buy packs for? And as good as this car is, honestly I would say probably not, because the thing is, you're going to have to spend 6,000 tokens or so to even unlock it, assuming you haven't had many blueprints for it before, and at 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, even 4-star, it's really not going to be all that useful in A-class events, and it's not going to be terribly amazing in multiplayer either. So I would say that unless you already have this car at least a couple of stars, it probably isn't worth spending tokens on the packs, unless you just have a ton of tokens that you can spend on it. Because if you already have the Huera, or the Aperta, or the Tech Rules, or the 570S, or possibly even like the Aventador J at 4 stars or above, you really don't need this car. Unless you're able to spend 20,000 tokens on it, it's really not going to do much for you that the cars you already have can't do already. That being said, if you do have it, or you have managed to get it at a decently high star count, definitely take it out in multiplayer, try it in events. It's a really good car, and one that kind of goes under the radar a lot of the time, just because most people don't have it, and it isn't really one that's talked about a whole lot, which is one reason why I think people wanted to see this video, because even after all this time, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding this car. It is quite good in every aspect. It doesn't have a really weak spot. Its nitro efficiency, top speed, acceleration, and handling and drifting are all pretty good for its class, while not being the best, are still quite close to the top. And if you do manage to get this car, definitely don't forget to play that special event for it. Most people aren't going to be able to. Thank you to John for these races, and thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt content and to see that 30k Q&A sooner. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!